President Donald Trump's administration is set to fire more than 1,000 employees from the U.S. State Department. The Associated Press reported on Friday, July 11, that the department would be sending layoff notices to 1,107 civil servants and 246 foreign officers with domestic assignments in the United States. In connection with the departmental reorganization, the department is streamlining domestic operations. To focus on diplomatic priorities, read a notice obtained by the AP. Headcount reductions have been carefully tailored to affect non-core functions, duplicative or redundant offices, and offices where considerable efficiencies may be found from centralization or consolidation of functions and responsibilities. According to the outlet, domestic employees are expected to be placed on a 60-day leave, after which they will officially lose their jobs. Foreign service workers will have 120 days before termination. The same day, Fox News reported that the number of laid-off employees could instead be closer to 2,000. The departments, bureaus, offices and domestic operations have grown considerably over the last 25 years, and the resulting proliferation of bureaus and offices with unclear, overlapping or duplicative mandates have hobbled the department's ability to rapidly respond to emerging threats and crises, or to effectively advance America's affirmative interests in the world, a senior State Department official told the outlet. The cutbacks continue the Trump administration's stated goal of government efficiency. On July 8, the Supreme Court ruled to lift a federal judge's order pausing large-scale staffing cuts and government restructuring. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio laughs as U.S. President Donald Trump speaks, accompanied by U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, tells a story about taking a clock from the State Department to decorate the cabinet room during a cabinet meeting at the White House on July 8, 2025 in Washington, D.C. Marco Rubio and President Donald Trump share a laugh at a cabinet meeting on July 8, 2025. While Elon Musk departed as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. On May 30, the Trump White House has continued to cut and consolidate federal jobs. For example, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is also currently the U.S. National Security Advisor, the acting administrator for the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the acting archivist of the United States. However, the American Academy of Diplomacy warned the AP that the State Department layoffs could seriously undermine the ability of our government to understand, explain, and respond to a complex and increasingly contested world. At a time when the United States faces unprecedented challenges from strategic competitors and adversaries, ongoing conflicts in Central Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, and emerging security threats, the decision to gut the Department of State's institutional knowledge and operational capacity is an act of vandalism, the organization said in a statement last week. Marco Rubio, U.S. Secretary of State, during a dinner with Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's Prime Minister, and U.S. President Donald Trump, not pictured, in the Blue Room of the White House in Washington, D.C., U.S., on Monday, July 7, 2025. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told President Donald Trump he nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize, using a visit to the White House to further cement the pair's relationship as the U.S. presses for a ceasefire in Gaza. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. Following Musk's departure from his White House role, and subsequent criticism of the Trump administration, The president has even threatened to use Doge to get back at the tech billionaire. Elon may get more subsidies than any human being in history, by far, and without subsidies. Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa, Trump told reporters on July 1. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He mocked.